like to do like a video with me or something?
Um, I'm going away for a month, but yeah, I mean, if you want to do something, that'd be so sweet.
Oh, for
And then
sure.
I'll pick it up when I'm back.
Yeah, for sure. No
So
problem.
yeah, I'd love to do something like that again.
Okay.
The video. Do you know what the video that me and you did? I think we did a cryptid one back along.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
people love that. Yeah, yeah. I got some really positive feedback on that one.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
Good to
I
get.
got some fun things I got to share with you once we get the stream going here. But there's some cool things people have been saying about you.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. So I'm excited to share that with you. I think you're gonna really dig it. Um,
Oh man, love that.
let me just see how the audio sounds here.
Still there?
Yep, I'm here. Okay,
Oh yeah. Okay.
the audio sounds pretty good. All right. Well, cool. How's your day going so far?
Not too bad, you know. Over here we're edging closer to Halloween, so you know,
Oh yeah.
right on the cusp. Yeah. So
Nice.
we had a party tonight actually, so I'm
Yeah.
off the back of a Halloween party, so I'm in a good mood.
Oh,
How
good.
about you?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm having a great day.
Oh, nice one.
Yeah, this will be my last stream, but yeah, no, I've been got a lot done today, and yeah, I'm just really excited for Halloween. Halloween's my favorite holiday, so just really
Same here,
excited.
man. Honestly, I look forward to it more than Christmas some years.
Oh yeah, yeah, no, for sure. All right, I'm gonna post this on Twitter here really quick.
All right. I thought we were live then. For a minute.
Oh no, yeah, we're live.
We're live right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, cool, sweet. Yeah.
All
Wait,
right.
man. Okay, I've got to share this with my. I'm just like constantly refreshing your page right now.
Oh, is it not up yet?
Wow.
Is it not saying it's up?
Wow. Well, yeah, maybe if I click the live tab. Yeah, hang on. If I engage my brain, maybe it'll. Here we go. Oh, there it is. Hallowstream featuring J Nightmares. Wow. Love that. Oh, hang on. You can hear my own voice. Alright, let's share this.
All right. And I gotta post it. Perfect. Cool. What? Before we get into it, do you got anything coming up on your channel that we should look forward to?
Well, actually, I think this time, about tomorrow, a couple hours before, I'm gonna do a big compilation of some of my older stories and then some of the ones I couldn't fit into a certain theme. So, yeah, there'll be a video up. It should be an hour 40. So
Oh wow.
longer than my usual stuff. Yeah.
Oh nice, nice, nice. That's awesome. Yeah, we'll have to check that out. I'll be looking for that.
Thanks, man.
In lieu of doing a Halloween video, I did the 13 nights of streaming. Thinking that would
Yeah,
be
you had some great guests.
Yeah, I thought that would be a lot easier than doing a compilation, which it definitely isn't. But no, it's been a lot of fun. The first night I had on, I had Mortis Media, and I asked him.
Oh man, he's
I
a G. I love that guy.
Oh yeah, he's so cool. I asked him who are some upcoming narrators that we should be on the lookout for. He mentioned Papa Scare, but he also mentioned you.
Oh,
Yeah,
awesome. Love that.
you got a shout out by
A
Mortis
little
Media.
shout out. Oh man, that means so much. I listen to so many of that guy's videos, so that really makes my day.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Now, are you from England or Great Britain?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I'm from England. I'm
Okay,
from the south, about 2 hours away from London.
okay,
So I've got this southern kind of accent.
okay.
But yeah, I spent a few years abroad, so it's kind of wearing off a bit. How
No,
about
all
you?
good.
Where are you from, Marin?
I'm from the States.
Yeah. What
Yeah,
part?
so I grew up in the South. I didn't have an accent, but yeah, no. Now
So
I'm
we're
out.
both from the south.
I'm from a state called Georgia.
Georgia.
Uh-huh.
Oh man, I went to this guy I met at university. He was from Georgia too.
Oh,
He
nice.
made Georgia sound like a great place to visit.
It's really nice. But during the summer it gets really hot, really sticky. A lot
Yeah, I
of
heard the bugs
bugs.
there. Yeah,
Yeah. My
bugs are quite crazy over there.
yeah, my brother lives in Florida now, and so he's got alligators and stuff. So yeah, it's fun. Well, way cool. Let's see. Yeah, Papa Scare, I had him on a couple nights. He mentioned you. He thought you were amazing.
Oh, he's my friend. I love that guy.
Yeah. He said he was gonna meet up with you soon.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah.
That'd be awesome. But yeah, whenever I see you guys posting videos together, which I feel like is quite often, I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta save this. This is gonna be good.
Yeah. To be honest with you, I reached out to him. I think when we were both on about 300 subscribers,
Oh wow.
and I just said like, "Hey man, do you want to work together?" I don't know why, but his video popped up as a kind of, the next recommended video,
Uh huh.
and it just rolled on over, and I was like, "Oh man, this guy's voice sounds amazing." Yeah. So I reached out, and he was like, "Yeah, let's do something," and then we kind of became friends like that. Also, the same thing with Miss Creepy Tales.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. We have like a holy trinity of
Oh yeah.
300 subscriber kind of
Nice.
era. Yeah. How about you? Did you start off with any kind of people you reached out to first, or did you always just blast on through to the 400K, 40,000K?
That's a great question. Yeah, so I actually did start off with some other narrators. I started with one. He was my first collaboration. His name was the Mad Chatter. I don't think he's
I've heard that one.
Yeah, I don't think he posts that much. I think he has an ASMR channel he does now. I also started off with a guy named Monsters in My Mind.
Oh right, yeah.
We started around the similar time, and then it's funny because my first year of doing this, I think I hit maybe 400 subscribers.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit of a grind. How quickly was it for you?
Oh man, it took me so long. I started in 2019. I don't think I ever got monetized until 2021.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it took a while. I don't know what it was. I started to think maybe it was I guess that my stuff is a little bit different sometimes because it's Japanese stories, I guess. And I don't know. I was kind of lazy in the first 2 years. I got to be honest with myself. There was not weekly uploads. There was no kind of constant output.
Okay.
So I think maybe that slowed me down a bit.
Okay.
But yeah.
Do you feel like doing primarily Japanese horror? Do you feel like that restricts you in any way?
Sometimes, I think that it does kind of slow me down a tiny bit, but I don't know.
Okay.
I started it because I wanted to hear something different, I guess.
Right. Well, I feel like when I look at your channel, number one, you have a great accent. I think that immediately pops out. But I feel like you cover stories that you won't hear anywhere else, which I think is great. But you also have other people on as well. So I mean, I feel like we get a little bit of best of both worlds with your channel.
Yeah, that's very kind of you to say. Yeah, I hope that that's the case. Sometimes I'm guilty of doing compilations and things like that, but yeah, I like to always say you might get to hear some stories you wouldn't hear on Reddit or you wouldn't hear on other places before.
Yeah.
It takes me a long time to translate these things, and it's fun to see people like them now and then,
Oh yeah,
good
for
fun.
sure. I have a question in regards to the Japanese horror. Now, is that something that you just find fascinating? Is that something Because they have a very unique culture over there. I feel like they're more paranormal in nature with those kind of stories. Is that something?
Yeah,
Is that something you're drawn towards?
yeah, absolutely. You're dead right on that one. Yeah, there's a lot of belief in nature, and spirits are kind of everywhere over there. You know, you can get all kinds of creepy stories from weird aspects of life. I mean, I've looked at stories I wanted to translate, and they'd be like vending machines that kind of like have this like spirituality to them. You would have it like even the camera in a convenience store would have something strange about it. Like I love the way that they just dig themselves in to describe something that might be just out of the ordinary. It might be just a CCTV camera describing something. You know, somebody describing what they see on a CCTV camera. Sorry, but I just love the way that they see things.
Yeah.
Yeah, all sorts of. I don't know what it was that drew me into it. I think the first time I ever watched like The Ring or some, the girl who comes through a TV gets you. Yeah. That one really creeped me out when I was a kid. So I was like, I'd love to find out why she comes out of the TV. Why does she do this? And why does why do we have to watch the tape that does this? And then if you watch the original one, it kind of digs in a little bit more. And then that's when I kind of started to get more interested in the spooky stuff from over there.
Nice. Well, so starting off, let's see. My first official question for you: what inspired you to create a YouTube channel?
Oh, you're very professional, my man. Love this. It's like a professional interview. I love this, man.
Oh yeah, for sure.
What started me off to do this? I am a big fan of like the Reddit stories, all these great, terrifying stories that are out there on Reddit. I mean, I grew up watching Mr. Nightmare. My favorite ever channel actually was Celestial Nor when I was
really
watching. Yeah, I know. I don't know why. I just always he popped up for me, and I really enjoyed watching his ones. And I was thinking like, oh wow, what if I was living in Japan at the time? And I was like, oh man, wouldn't it be cool if I could like add one and I could send it to somebody and then they could use it. I think I sent one to Mr. Nightmare, and I was young, you know. I mean, Mr. Nightmare's he's got so many cool stories, and he didn't use it, and I wasn't upset about that. But like, I thought like, oh man, I could use that one day, and I just thought, if there's enough interest, I'll just make a couple of stories from ones I haven't heard before. Like maybe these ones aren't on Reddit, and I'm in a unique position because I've lived out there for a little bit, and you know, some people. I used to work in a bar, and some people used to tell me like creepy stories in the bar, and they're like, "Oh man, if you go over to this town overside, you know, the other side of the tracks, the train station there's an abandoned house, and then in that house it would be, you know, you don't want to go in there, you know, like these urban legend kind of things." And I was like, I really want to share something like that. Okay. So it was things like that, I guess. I just wanted to share something that I thought that, you know, might not appear on Reddit, on, you know, submissions for other channels. I don't know. I expected it to fail. That's why I didn't get monetized for a long time, I think, because I didn't put the effort in for so long.
Okay.
But it was fun to give it a try.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Well, how about you? How did you get started?
Oh, that's a great question. Personally, so every night I listen to scary stories. That's one of my ritual things I do.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, I'm like, man, it can't be that hard. And so I tried it, and I was dead wrong. It's very hard. I didn't realize how much went into, you know, sound engineering and things like that. I think it took me like a year and a half before I even liked how my videos sounded. Like, there's just so much I didn't realize went into that. But yeah, I'm a big Let's Read fan, big Being Scared fan, Beatbusta, Your Maker, like all those guys. I'm like, if you have a horror channel, I'm subscribed to it. That's kind of what it is for me. And that's like one of my favorite parts also with like going camping, is I love being around a good campfire and telling really scary stories and just being petrified. That to me is a lot of fun, and so I was like, yeah, like I think I should do that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Got the perfect voice for it.
Oh, well, I appreciate it. I'm taking notes from you. I'm trying to figure out how to make myself, because I think everyone, and I'll have to ask you this also, but I think everyone personally does not like their own voice. Do you have that same sentiment, or do you think you have a great voice?
Like honestly, when I hear, even now, I'm saying these words, I'm thinking, oh, I don't like it.
Really?
Yeah. I don't think anybody on earth likes their own voice, you know.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. I wonder why that is.
Yeah, I don't know either. I guess because, you know, me and you, when we do, you know, recordings and we have to listen to our own voices and edit them, you know, kind of get sick of your own voice, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Second question for you. I know the answer. So, by the way, I know most of these answers, but I like to hear them from you, and I like to share them with the viewers watching. What inspired your channel's name?
Oh, right, yeah. This is actually mildly interesting.
Okay.
I called it in the first Japanese Nightmares.
Okay.
And it bombed, man. It really bombed.
Really?
Yeah, and I was like, you know, well, like, why am I calling it Japanese Nightmares? So I shortened it down to J Nightmares, and you know that would be something more user-friendly for everybody, because not everybody, you know, tunes into it. It would be like saying American Nightmares, you know. It's too niche, you know. It's not really feasible for everybody to tune in with. So once I called it that to begin with, I think it was inspired by Mr. Nightmare, to be honest with you.
Okay.
You know, nightmares. I like that kind of vibe to it. But yeah, it took some changing. How about you? Did you always start with Entropic Society, or did you start with something else?
I did. Yeah, before I answer that, so a second follow-up question. Because Papa Scare and I'm trying to think who it was. Maybe it was The Darkest Hour. But they were talking about you. And do you share your name on your channel, or do you keep it a secret?
Yeah, like I've never told anybody my actual name.
Okay.
They call me Jimmy.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I thought that.
Nah.
Yeah, they kept calling you that. I'm like, is that his name? I thought that's what the J stood for.
Nah, it's not now.
Nice.
That's something that Papa Scare did ages ago to annoy me.
Oh,
I
really?
think.
Did it work?
Yeah, it did, yeah.
Nice.
It's I don't know. It's just for the J, I guess, you know.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, you can see in the chat right now, like Miss Creepy Tales called me Jimmy, and then
yeah.
Cross
awesome.
Note, my man from Liverpool. Hey, how you doing?
Nice. By the way, who's your football team?
Oh, I support Liverpool.
Liverpool? Okay.
Yeah, 100%. Even though they lost today, which is
really?
a bit sad. Yeah. Are you a sports fan?
I'm a pretty big sports fan. I don't really follow teams. I just like to watch. It's funny on my YouTube feed, I've been getting a lot of Manchester City.
Oh yeah, they're doing well right now.
With what's his name, Holland.
Yeah, he's unreal. Yeah, he's a monster.
So I've been watching a lot of their highlights. So, but yeah, that's something. Whenever I go over there, I definitely want to hit up a football game for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
To answer your question, so Entropic Society, originally in college, I wanted to make like a cool brand for like t-shirts and things like that. I was like, oh, that'd be a cool name. It's like entropic in terms of like entropy, like that's what it stands for.
Yeah.
And then I was like, it's kind of silly. And then I made a YouTube channel and I was thinking of names. So I'm like, oh, that's a very unique name. And it doesn't necessarily register in terms of horror. Like people I don't think initially think of horror when they hear that name. But I think of channels like Slapped Ham or like Nuke's Top 5. And I'm like, okay, like maybe it'll be like something like that where it's horror, but I could do other things with it as well. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess that's kind of what came from that, and it's funny. I've had people actually tell me, they're like, yeah, the name's kind of, it's too difficult, and I'm like, well, what do you mean? Like, it's like, yeah, I don't, like, it's like, I don't know, like, whenever I like tell people about it, they don't know how to spell it or whatever. So I've actually had people tell me to change it, but I'm like, I don't know what I would change it to, so I just left it.
I like it. It's unique, you know.
Yeah, it's fun. Slavic Scott wants to know, how has your experience been with collabs?
I love collabs, you know. I can't say a bad word about a single person I've had a collab with, personally. I mean, collabs are always interesting because, you know, in my case, you send something out and you get something back, and you know, there's a period of waiting time, or you might tap someone up for a collab, and then it might not happen, it might happen, you never know. But I've never had something that's literally put me off reaching out for a collab. I think that, you know, if you get pushed back a little bit, just you know, don't let it knock your head down. Keep going.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
If you had to pick top 3 narrators on this platform, and they couldn't say no, who would you pick to have on for a collaboration? It could be anyone.
Oh wow, that's a hell of a question, though. Is that present company excluded?
What do you mean?
Like, of course you would. You know.
Oh, I don't count. I don't count.
yeah. That's it. Yeah. Well, you know, wow, who would I have on mine? The top 3 I'd have. I mean, like I said, I'm a big fan of Miss Nightmare.
Of course.
And fortunately, in my past, I got to work with the one I used to listen to so much, which was Celestial Noir. So let's get him out there.
Nice, of course.
So I don't know. I'm really grateful to work with a bunch of people that I really like. There's one that I tried. There's someone who does Japanese horror as well, same as me, and her name, you know, she does like these horror books.
Oh.
Yeah, I reached out to her before. I'm kind of reluctant to mention it because I did reach out in the past, so I don't want to put any pressure on. But I'd like to do Let's Read, to be honest.
Oh,
It'd
yeah.
be cool. It'd be really cool to go on Let's Read. Yeah.
He's on my list. That's awesome.
Yeah.
No, I think you touched on some great ones there. Yeah.
Yeah. How about you? Got any you want to go on?
Me? Yeah, excluding you, obviously. I would probably have Let's Read. Man, I was hoping you wouldn't ask me this.
I've just thought of one now.
Oh, who do you got?
Like, not specifically like a horror narrator, but I'd love to do something with this person. Do you know Nick Crowley?
That sounds super familiar.
Yeah, he does like the YouTube's disturbing channels kind of things.
Okay, I know of the name.
I love that guy. Yeah, I love that guy. Amazing. Okay. Amazing channel.
Nice. Oh, you just reminded me. Okay, because his videos, so it would be Let's Read, Lazy Masquerade.
Yeah.
And then, you know what? I had Dark Somnium on, and he was so cool.
Really?
He was so cool. And he was like,
nice.
he was telling me, he's like, hey, thanks. He was like nervous to talk to me. I'm like, why are you nervous? He's like, well, like, you're cool. And I'm like, no one's ever been nervous to talk to me. Like, that's incredibly nice of him. I was like, it's like, Dark Somnium, you don't have to, his name's Ronnie. I'm like, you don't have to, like, I don't know if it was necessarily me or just being on stream, but he was super nice. And even though he was kind of nervous, he still powered through it, which because some people don't like the live stream thing.
No, they don't. I mean, I can be honest with you, man. I was a bit nervous at the start. I don't do these live streams that often.
Yeah, I actually asked quite a bit of narrators, and the biggest objection I would get would either be, oh, I don't have a good setup for that, or that they just don't do live streams like that. Their nerves get the better of them, which I totally
Yeah.
understand. But yeah, I'm just grateful I had so many people turn out for this. That was really cool.
You
But
had a great bunch turn up, man, honestly.
yeah, I'll be honest with you. I'm extremely surprised. I was extremely surprised. I got who I got to come on. So yeah, I'm definitely indebted to the community. So if anyone needs anything from me, then I have to, out of obligation, to this last week and 2 weeks or so.
Oh yeah. I have to tap you up.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Let me know.
So, can I ask you something?
Of course.
Yeah. So, how is Halloween in the States? I know it's a bit different from the UK where I am, but like, do you go all out for Halloween, or is it more like a subtle thing?
That's a really great question. Halloween here is very commercialized. There will be certain shops that will specifically open just for that season.
Yeah.
One being like a Spirit Halloween. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Oh, do you know what? I heard about a film called Spirit Halloween that's coming out or something. There's like, I know about a shop or a store, sorry, that comes out doing Halloween things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it.
Nice. Yeah, and so that's kind of the joke is if your business doesn't do well, then the joke is it's going to be a Spirit Halloween because it's very seasonal, because it's not there all year. It's only there for a couple months. So you have that, but you also have, like, I live out west, and so there's a lot of farms that do pumpkin patches and corn mazes and haunted houses. So I've been to a couple corn mazes. I've been to a couple haunted houses this year. It's a ton of fun. You have people like us where we go crazy for that kind of stuff. I've been watching horror movies all month.
Oh, love it.
Oh yeah, it's so great. And then it's not it's not for everyone. So some people don't put up decorations, but those that do go pretty hard with those.
Yeah. Well, it sounds cool. Sounds a bit more heavy than we do.
Yeah.
Like, we don't really go all out that much. Love to see it. But doesn't really happen. The pumpkin patch, kind of picking your pumpkins, sounds appealing. I know we do a little bit of that over here, but not as grandiose as you guys do it.
Yeah. Interesting.
So, one thing I always wanted to do was like, you have those like all night movie showings of like movies back to back.
Oh
in America.
yeah.
We just don't have that. It'd be so cool to watch a couple of movies back to back.
Oh yeah.
All night cinema.
Yeah, that would be quite. Yeah, I haven't seen too much of that, but yeah, there's definitely places that do that, which I think is really cool. For your channel, what is the favorite type of video that you love to make? Every time you make it, you're like, oh, this is gonna be a great one. What kind of video would that be for your channel?
Oh, awesome question. I'm a big believer in that human horror is scarier than anything paranormal. So I really think like anything that involves man or woman being frightening is just creepy. So I think intruders, strangers at the door, anything that shows that humans are the worst.
Mm-hmm.
That just scares me. Also, I like, the woods. I think the woods are, like mountainous woods or hiking or camping, anything like that. Just anywhere where you feel entirely vulnerable and then something can happen. Yeah.
Do you do a lot of camping?
In the woods. Well, no, actually, no. To be honest, I don't do a great amount, but I do like going on like hiking trails, long walks. Yeah.
Oh wow, nice.
But yeah, I think maybe once it stops raining and stop being so horribly cold out here, maybe we'll do a bit more camping. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you?
You know what? It's actually funny. Growing up, I loved to go camping, and then the older I got, the more it's just not for me. But my wife still makes me go, so I still go a lot.
Right. Yeah.
Something I really would think would be a lot of fun. I want to take a bunch of different narrators and meet up in real life, and then go like explore like abandoned asylums or like abandoned.
That would be so amazing.
Jails or something. I think that would be so cool. Like that's the kind of stuff I like to do.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. You could have like a video of it.
Oh yeah.
Everybody
Oh for
do
sure.
their own thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of videos, outside of you making your videos, what does Jay Nightmares watch on his YouTube?
Oh man, you're full of great questions tonight. Thank you. I aside from football, I watch a lot of soccer and football. I watch a lot of the highlights of that, and I love boxing.
Oh really?
And yeah, I used to box.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, I loved it. I really, really loved it. But my boxing school got closed down, and
Oh no.
it kind of all went away. And then I went abroad, and then by the time I came back, the interest sort of slowed down a bit. I got a bit older, so
Okay.
yeah. But I want to get back into it.
Okay.
Outside of that, like, I love watching. Well, do you know those like scammer calls? Like,
Oh yeah.
Do you know Kit Boga?
I'm sure I've seen something of his.
Yeah, like the guys who try to scam people out of their money, and then somebody like comes along and like this guy's like messing with them, wasting their time until they cannot scam anybody out of their money. I like stuff like that. I like. I'm a total true crime kind of guy.
Oh,
when
are
I'm
you?
working. Yeah, whilst I'm working, I like listening to like a true crime podcast or something like that. Yeah. Big thing for me would be like the new news that came out literally last night in the Delphi, Indiana case. Yeah, finally it's gonna drawn into that. But yeah, I really like crime, things like that, and then I'll listen to all kinds of stuff, really, like unsolved mysteries, basically stuff.
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
How about you? What do you listen to?
I do horror narrations for sleep, and then I do what else do I do? I do some like video game tutorials, not necessarily
nice.
tutorials, but like I'll follow some people on there. I listen to a lot of comedy podcasts, a lot of which I can't say the name of. But yeah, I watch a lot of comedy, soccer highlights. I watch a lot, or football highlights, I should say. And then like I have some ASMR on here. I don't know if you're familiar with what that is.
Yeah, I know ASMR. Yeah, good to relax too. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to do a lot of like meditating and stuff like that. Let's see. I'm trying to think what else I got on here. Yeah, pretty basic stuff. I have a lot of different people that I support. I have a ton of like different ambient music channels. Because I use a lot of their music, and so it's good to I don't know, support those people. I feel like I'm trying to think, but yeah, I honestly I think I have like 200 different channels I follow that are just all horror, different variations of different horror things like that. I tried to do some video game stuff. Do you play video games at all?
I do, and I tell you now, I'm not great, but there is one I'm kind of good at, and that is Skyrim. Have you ever played that?
Really? Oh yeah. Of course.
Yeah, I'm not the best, but I really enjoyed like the open world kind of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fascinating. So do you play Elden Ring then?
No, I haven't actually played that yet.
Okay.
I know.
I recommend not playing it if you don't have very high patience, because that is that game is incredibly frustrating.
Really?
Oh yeah, it's I consider myself mostly patient, but I'll tell you that game, it is hard. Maybe it's just I'm not very good at it, but yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but definitely give it a try. I think we kind of talked a little bit about this. We talked about who some of your favorite horror narrators are. I'm trying to think. Is there anyone that you feel like is an honorable mention in terms of
like a narrator?
Yeah,
coming up.
Yeah, that you enjoy watching.
Oh, yeah. I mean, present company excluded.
Of course.
I would say, you know, I got a shout from Papa Scare and from Miss Creepy Tales, but some of my favorites, I think Horror Over Coffee is really good. He's got such a really cool voice. He's coming up there.
Yeah.
Night Terrors, one of my favorites. I love their stories are genuinely chilling. I think that they're new kind of stories as well. I don't know if they're always the ones that you hear again and again sometimes, but I don't know if there's something about the way they deliver them. If I haven't heard them before, I like them. Creepy Oz is a really good one.
Creepy Oz. Horse?
Creepy Oz, like
Australia. Oz. Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I love that guy. He works so hard, honestly. Puts out like a video every day.
I feel like
he's working his ass off.
I feel like Australia has a lot of great talent.
Yeah, they do, man. They really do.
I feel like we're gonna be in trouble.
There's a bunch out there. Yeah, I know. I'm worried. But also Amanda Jane, who does The Darkest Hour.
Oh, of course.
Oh man, she does like these things. She puts like echoes in the voice over, and she does, like little sound effects and stuff. That little bit of extra,
Oh yeah, it's a
cool.
cherry.
That's really cool.
It's cherry on top.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to have her on, and she started off as a radio show host.
Oh right, that's where she knows what she's doing. Yeah, love that.
And so that's how she's able to do all that cool stuff, which I think is really cool. But yeah, let's see. Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. How about you? You ever worked with some other channels that you just think might want to shout out? Like, oh man, I love working with them.
Yeah. No. You, Papa Scare. I feel like you two are like, you guys are like a good combo. Like whenever I think of either of you, I think of both of you at the same time, which I think is awesome. Yeah. I do a lot of stuff with Campfire Tales. He was previously known as Zach Baby TV.
Oh yeah, I've heard him on a collab. Man, he sounds great.
Yeah.
I was gonna reach out. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely hit him up. He's a good buddy of mine. Monsters in My Mind is really cool. There's just so many different awesome channels out there that I feel like I could just shout them all out. I like working with there's one girl that came on a couple nights ago. Her name is Spirit Voices. She does a really good does like a really good like voice acting and things like that. I think is awesome.
Okay.
But yeah, a bunch of fun things like that. Let's see here. So you do a lot of you obviously make a lot of cool scary videos, but do you watch scary movies?
Oh man, I love scary movies. Honestly.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Man. Yeah, that's a tough one to answer. I think you love scary movies as well, so it's always kind of tough to pinpoint your exact favorite.
Yeah.
But I'd say that I think The Thing's up there for me. The Thing.
Oh, The Thing is amazing. I love The Thing.
Yeah.
It's I think you've seen the old one and the new one, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think that those are phenomenal. I love the concept behind it. I love that because they did they did those. So you like a little bit of science fiction as well then.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and by the way, this ties into a little bit of a previous question you asked me. What is some of my favorite YouTube channels?
Mm-hmm.
There's one called Good Bad Flicks, and they go through kind of like a breakdown of different horror films, and
Uh-huh.
the way they broke down what happened to the new Thing is really interesting, because apparently they had all the practical effects like the old Thing, like the 80s version, but the
Mm-hmm.
studio said no, and you can literally see it on the DVD extras of all these wonderful like creations just like the old Thing, and the studio said no, we're going to do CGI.
Oh
So
no.
yeah, I love channels like that, so you can just see a glimpse into what might have happened.
Oh man, that
Yeah.
would have been awesome.
Yeah, they
Dang.
Good Bad Flicks is a really good channel because they'll look at like lesser known like cheesy 80 films sometimes, or like 70 films,
Okay.
and then you might get a bit more like, oh, if it wasn't for this might have happened kind of thing. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Very very interesting.
Yeah, but
Okay. Yeah.
definitely I'm a big fan of the original Halloween as well.
Oh yeah.
Love that. And I've got well, the one thing that started me being interested in Japan and all that stuff was the original Ring.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
get the hell out of me.
The Ring. That is. So
Yeah.
what's the official story on that? Like,
Well,
is it much different than the American version?
I've been as kind of well. I don't think that the American version did it that differently.
Okay.
Yeah, basically, it's about residual kind of energy after somebody dies, and it's just captured forever on a tape. Whoever
Right.
sees that tape has something terrible happen to them, and if they don't sort it out within 7 days, then they're going to pass it on to the next to the next. A lot of Japanese horrors is kind of cyclical, like it goes in a circle.
Mm-hmm.
So uh, for me, that was the beginning of curses and being seen in a different way. Like
Yeah.
I think that's always been my thing. Like things with witchcraft and like devil worship and all that kind of stuff always scared me before. But then when I saw The Ring, and if you just watched a tape, it would still be able to get you. That
Right.
was when it just scared me beyond all recognition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I know, but what is, how do you break the curse in the Ring? I don't think I remember.
It's essentially like once she shows you what happened to her, which is basically what's on the tape,
Mm-hmm.
you have to show it to somebody else, and then once that person sees it, they kind of own the curse in a sense. They're the last person to see it, so that's who she's coming for. Providing you show it to them within a week,
Mm-hmm.
then you can kind of escape it. If you don't show it to anybody within 1 week, because that's how long it took for her to die in the well. Then,
Really?
yeah,
Oh, I
like
didn't
that.
realize
Yeah,
that.
yeah. And then her parents didn't want her. They pushed her into the well because they thought she was evil. Covered the well up with this huge stone. Took her 7 days to die, and then she spent 7 days down there, and then that's how they kind of the curse continues, because her spirit just was so hateful and unwilling to go to the next world. She just stayed there until the next person watched the tape. I don't know how it came on the tapes. Like Japanese history is so mad with technology sometimes. I think because they're one of the only countries who have had such a frightening experience with the power of technology.
Yeah.
They have a lot of brilliant things with technology. They have a lot of weird AI things like that, and they've also had they've had war as well. They've had all sorts of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they have a confusing relationship with it. So when you have someone who can transmit their thoughts through a tape and on the screen, that just struck a chord with them over there. And then you had 7 days to get away from it, and then the phone is ringing, and it's all linked to the technology. It's really creepy.
Wow.
I don't know if I explained that well, but
no, yeah, I definitely think so. I think you definitely touched on something, and especially when it comes to like technology, I always think of like Japan being like the leader with that kind of stuff. Like that totally makes sense to me.
Yeah, and I mean, like, you know, it's not nice to say, but like in the war as well, like they've had they've had the extreme end of technology at some stages as well. So maybe that makes their fear of certain things go up. You know, maybe that plays into fear as well. But like, what about when you were younger? Was there a film or like a TV show or anything that's frightened you when you were a kid?
Yeah, there were quite a couple of them. I kind of grew up in the zombie era.
Oh yeah, cool.
Those were fun. I really liked the those didn't necessarily scare me. I just thought that those were fun. But yeah, so a lot of zombie films, but like you know, your Michael Myers films, things like that. I always thought were really fun. But more recently, there was a film that came out called Sinister. I don't know if you've seen that one.
Oh, I love Sinister, man. It's a cool film.
Yeah, I watched that one, and I thought that one was really good. And there was a sequel that they came out with. It wasn't nearly as good, but I thought I liked that one as well.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Have you seen the movie called The Descent?
Yes, I have.
I really like that movie. I think that movie...
It's a stressful film.
Yes.
It's very stressful.
Yes, I
you know,
really...
Like, they're down there, there's no way out, it's so stressful.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I love, like, things like that where it's, like, you kind of got, like, this, what do you call it? Like, you have, like, these humanoid-type creatures or whatever down there, and they're, I think that kind of stuff is fun.
Yeah, that is good, yeah. Love that.
I'm trying to think. Like, what else that I watched growing up that I really liked.
I liked Goosebumps. Did you ever watch that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Goosebumps were a lot of fun. I really liked that one.
Yeah. I used to read the books when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Loved them.
Yeah, I was a big Goosebumps guy. There was like, and then did you ever read the books Tales to Tell in the Dark?
Yeah, we didn't get that so much over in England, but
oh really?
Yeah, I did look online to see all like the art. It looked really creepy, but I had to know to go look for it. You know, like it wasn't in our libraries or in our schools or anything. Yeah, it looked amazing though.
Oh yeah, it's funny because I was like that kid. Like my elementary school, we had those books, and then we had like maybe 1 or 2 Bigfoot books, and I would get all of them. I would take all those kind of books, and that was the kind of stuff I liked to read. And then growing up, I don't know if you guys had this or not, but there on the Travel Channel, they did like a lot of ghost adventure kind of things, ghost hunter stuff.
Yeah, I remember that when I was a kid, stuff like that,
Yeah, so, but yeah, like, I'll watch, even to this day, I'll watch, like, Bigfoot documentaries or, like, alien documentaries and stuff like that.
Same here.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I love that kind of stuff. Let me ask you this. For your channel, do you consider yourself famous? And if not, at what point would you consider yourself famous?
Oh wow. I don't consider myself famous at all. I guess that if I consider myself famous, okay, so this is a really selfish thing about me. But hey, I might as well say it. So my favorite band on earth is a band called Cradle of Filth.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you ever heard them. But if I ever got more subscribers than them, then I consider myself famous.
Right,
I think they're sat on about like 100,000, so might not ever happen, but you know, it just, you know, something that you've grown up with that you absolutely idolize, somebody, you know, you looked up to and you surpassed, then maybe you'd be like, wow, well, maybe this is, you know, going somewhere. Wow, I've actually got more than the people I loved when I was a kid. Jesus, how'd that happen?
So they are at 250,000. So I think that's definitely doable.
Yeah, okay,
doable.
I got a long way to go.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, stuff like that. How about you, man? Do you have anybody you look up to and you just think, oh man, if I get anywhere close to that, I'll be really happy with, you know, how I'm going. I mean, you're closer than I am. You got 40,000. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's what I kind of consider is more of like the interaction kind of thing. Like I've seen some channels out there where they'll have like a ton of subscribers, but the interaction might not necessarily be there. For me, I mean, it's all kind of relative. Like, I feel like, especially for our community, I feel like that's a pretty good number. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird. Like that, I don't necessarily associate something like that with what we do. Just because I feel like we have a very unique thing in which we do. I don't know if that makes sense. But yeah, like if I would have to say if it's like you said, like if like the people I look up to, if they like ever came across my stuff or things like that, or were fans of me, I that's what it would be for me. I think you nailed it on the head with that kind of thing.
Yeah, it would just be so fun to just be like, oh wow, I'm kind of like close to some people I looked up to as a kid, you know?
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
it's also weird to realize like they're just people. Like that's always something kind of weird
to
realize. It's like, oh yeah, they're just people. They have struggles just like everyone else does. You know.
I know. Yeah. That's how. How did you feel when you ever first reached out for like a collab to someone that, you know? I'm assuming you've reached out for collabs before to like some channels that you like that, and then when you get that reply back, and then you kind of almost realize like, hey, that's like a normal person like me, you know?
Yeah, when I was getting this set up, I was like, that's what it was just kind of realizing that, you know, all the huge narrators that we look up to are just very normal people, and they typically don't think that highly of themselves, which I think is cool, because I mean there are definitely people out there to where they definitely could do that, and they could definitely, you know, push people off to the side and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And they don't do that. I think that's awesome.
That is great, actually.
But yeah, so
you know, it speaks. It's so great about the community. Sorry, mate. That it speaks so much about like the community that we're in. That we don't really have that many bad things to say about the people we've hung out with and spoke to. You know.
Yeah.
I'd have to rack my brain to think of someone. I don't like them. You know. There's nobody that comes to mind. I love that the people we chat to are so nice.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. Well, let me tell you this. 7,000. That's definitely not something to shy away at. That's a huge milestone. I was just looking at your analytics, and you've had quite the. You know, I feel like your trends are mostly positive, and that you're getting some good traction. What do you feel it would take for you to make it to that next level?
I would say that what I need is more regular output.
Okay.
I've gone with this whole thing of, you know, stories you haven't heard or stories from Japan like that. So I've kind of put myself into a corner, so I can't really do you know, Reddit stuff, I guess, because I've built my channel on doing something slightly different. But yeah, if I could translate quicker, if I could, you know, find a way to do different things or add in more popular things than I do add, then maybe I'd get a bit further. But I've tried some like fictional stuff, and I've tried a couple of different things. But yeah, the second I put out true stories you haven't heard in the title, it's the one people click on compared to my other stuff.
Okay.
So if I could up that, if I could, do about 3 of those a week, that'd be amazing.
Okay, so
it takes.
So you think it's more of a scheduled thing for you?
Yeah, it doesn't help that my, day-to-day job is quite busy as well.
Okay. Cool. No, yeah. I feel like that's kind of like a double-edged sword that most content creators or narrators have to struggle with, because a lot of us are still working a full-time job and then doing this on the side, which I am. I thought once I hit 20,000, that would be the area where I could just be like, oh yeah, no, this is
yeah.
But no, like even I'm at double that, and even now I'm still having to do something full-time. But yeah, I think for me, I think doing more of a regular schedule, like what you said, but also I think if I can get more collaborations out there, not necessarily with just bigger channels, but just I feel like the more I can contribute, the more I can kind of displace the name across different genres, I feel like the better it would be. I don't know if that makes sense.
That absolutely does make sense. I think that's a really good way to put yourself out there. Yeah. And you've done it with this Halloween stream. Absolutely.
And that's like you said, that's something I tried to do with that, and it's also, I think like networking is huge, like the different connections. Like I said earlier, just about everyone I talked to this week either had something nice to say about you, or at least knew you, which I feel like is half the battle.
Oh, that's very sweet of everybody. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, so
yeah, I love it, man. Everybody knows you too. I mean, I think, I don't know who reached out first. It might have been me to you, but I was like, wow, this dude, it's so, down to earth. He's like, yeah, can I send you over some stories? Would you want to be on my channel? Do you want me to be on your channel? I just love that about, sometimes you meet people in life who's just willing to help each other out and just chat and get things going. Love that.
Yeah,
so
I was definitely in the struggle boat, or the struggle bus for a while, and then it just kind of took off, like, and it did its own thing. But yeah, no, it's kind of weird how that kind of stuff works.
Yeah, it is.
Well, let me see here. I keep getting sidetracked. I keep going on these interesting conversations with you. I have all these awesome questions. I still feel like there's so much more I need to know about you.
Hey man, I'm here for a while if you want.
What does your family think of your channel?
Well, actually, they're interested. Yeah, they like it. Yeah, they're not too indifferent or anything. I did want to. Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that, because I did want to do something where I kind of talk about stuff that happened in my hometown, or like I asked my family for their personal experiences. I don't know how well this video might have gone down, but I was going to get like my dad, my mom, and my brother to do like a story, and then I'd do a story at the end.
Okay.
Might have been bad, might have been good. I don't know. But
so are these stories that they provided, or are they actually telling the story?
Like something that happened to them in their lives, because they've all got like one kind of interesting story each. Like my dad had something weird happen when he was younger, and then my brother walking home at night kind of thing. My mum also, something crazy happened to her as well. So I was thinking like, oh wow, that'd be cool, but I don't know. I'd like to do it. I think at some point I will, but they're supportive. They're happy. I mean, I can tell you, my mum watches it.
Oh, does she? That's awesome.
Yeah, and she goes, oh, you know what? That second story, I love that one, but I didn't like the first one, like that. So I love having a bit of feedback like that. It's quite sweet.
Nice. Have you ever altered anything because of what she said?
No, I don't. I guess that's the luxury of my stuff. I don't I just say, hey, I just translated it. It's not my words, you know.
Okay.
I can just keep it like, you know, it's not really, you know, I didn't choose those words, so I just translated it. I don't know. But how about your family? Do they, you know, you said you were married. Do they? It takes up a lot of time, you know.
It does, yeah. It's especially because if it, you know, once you get that monetization level to where that's something that you know you can do as additional income. It definitely. Well, it's funny. My wife, she doesn't watch a lot of horror stuff, so she tries to be supportive, but I can tell it's obviously something not easy for her. Um, you know, which
Right.
you know it is what it is, but you have that, and but yeah, I mean overall, you know, I think they're supportive, but for the most part, she doesn't watch too much of my stuff just because you know she's married to me, and so it's you know she's like, well, I already know what, like I talk to you anyways, like you can just tell me, kind of thing. If
You
that,
get to hear that voice every day, so you know,
yeah, so
look for that.
yeah, so that's kind of funny to me, but yeah, no,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, I mean, in terms of that, I mean, that's kind of how it is in terms of my family. So.
I tell you what, man. I tried to, like, when I first started my channel. I said to one of my friends, I was like, oh, I just started this YouTube channel. Do you want to try and give me a couple of views so I can get going? And then my friend listened to it. He was like, man, it's your voice. I can't listen to it. It just feels weird. So I think
Oh,
that's
really?
the same. Yeah, the same with some of my family members. They're like, I can't listen to your voice. It just feels weird.
Oh no, that's funny.
Yeah.
Have you met anyone in real life that has recognized you from your voice or from your channel or anything?
No, not at all. Sadly,
Oh, really?
no. Yeah, no. No. I mean, I've had a couple of like DMs or like an email and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, when you get like a buy me a coffee, I try my best to try, you know, like chat, and half the time people don't reply to the initial message you sent out, like thanks for buying me a coffee. Anything you want to chat about, please send a email.
Mm-hmm.
Half the time people don't reply to that, but you know, yeah, I've had like Twitter DMs, had chat, and I've had a couple of emails. Man, I've had some strange emails, but yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. How about you? Do you get stuff like that, like emails coming in, or like Facebook or Twitter things? You know.
Actually, no. My Twitter presence is pretty minimal. Um, which I only use it just to reach out to people and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really do anything on Facebook. Like that's my personal stuff that I kind of do.
Yeah. Same.
But
to be
I
honest.
haven't had anyone, you know. Thankfully, I've been lucky enough. So with my channel, I do a lot of what do you call it? I do like a lot of like I write my own stuff, and so I try to encourage people when they send in stories. Like I want them to send in stuff to where like they can write their own stories and send them to me, and so I'll have people reach out to me and be like. Hey, like, hey, can you help me workshop this a little bit? Like, what are some of your ideas? And so I've had a couple of videos to where people, I've actually helped write the story with them, kind of thing.
Right.
And
That's
so,
cool.
so they'll come up with like a cool idea, and I'm like, hey, this would be really cool if you did this, and then I would actually love to read it.
Oh man,
So
that's cool.
yeah.
You ever thought of, like, I know you sent a couple of stories across to me, but like one of the ones, it was a longer one than I was used to, and I was listening to it and I was thinking, like, you know, all sorts of stuff are happening. Like you're going into this part, it had like a definite beginning, middle, end, and it had all these twists and turns. You ever thought of like doing, I don't know, like screenplays and stuff like that?
I that's ultimately something I would really love to do. I think would be really cool is to do something where it's like that you might watch on TV or something. Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that'd be really cool. I just don't know. I just don't know who I'd get in contact with that. I don't know how that would work.
I think like if you build this foundation at this stage, you know, it might just take a while, but you might get to where you need to be, you know, maybe not right now, but whenever. If you keep doing what you're doing, then it's a hell of a resume to build up, right?
Oh yeah, no, for sure. That's no, that's a great idea. Yeah, I've definitely thought about that. I've written some stories, like a continuation of a series. That I think they would do really well. Whether it be like a Twilight Zone episode or like a full feature film or something.
You know what? You took the words right out of my mouth there. Twilight Zone. You know, I was thinking a little like X-Files a little bit there. Kind of bring that kind of nostalgia and new presence to it. I think there's something there if you keep plugging.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, if I can kind of build my resume in what you were saying, I think that'd be really cool. Speaking of which, we kind of talked. You just mentioned kind of like what would be like the ideal, result of your channel and things like that. Where would you want your channel to take you, and what would that channel look like for you?
Wow. Where would I want it to? I'd love it to be a point. I think we're all like this when we do this YouTube narration. I think we're all kind of like this, where, you know, maybe you don't do a day job anymore. Maybe that'd be cool. You know,
yeah, no, for
you just get to read scary stories as your job. That'd be so fun. But other than that, I think it's really fun, and it always will be fun to me, to just try and share something that I think somebody hasn't heard. You know, like you got your own stories, right? And I think that's kind of like life sometimes, just sharing stories.
Yeah.
Goes back to the old days. Yeah, I love stuff like that. If I can still have a platform to do that and just enjoy it and meet friends along the way, then I'm pretty happy with that. But yeah, hey, cool. You know, if I get extra money, if I get like 100,000 subscribers or whatever, yeah, brilliant. But
yeah,
I wouldn't be, you know, totally depressed if it ended all today, you know.
Okay.
It's been, you know, it's been fun. Got some, you know, viewers, subscribers, got some wonderful comments. Like, doesn't it just make you feel so happy when you get a comment just out of the blue, like, oh, I love that story, or, you know, I love the way your voice sounds, or, you know, you just get something that just brightens your day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in it for that.
Yeah, I remember one time I had, gosh dang it, why is his name escaping me? Unit 522, he hopped in one of my streams once. He's like, hey, Tropic, love the stuff, keep it up. We should collab sometime. And I was like, what? And
man.
At first I thought it was like a fake account. I'm like, okay, that's not funny. And then I'm like, that's Unit 522. That's crazy. Yeah, that's so bizarre.
That's so cool. Yeah, that is really cool.
Have you ever had anything like that happen to you?
Actually, funny you mentioned him. I think he is reading one of the stories I translated for another channel. Like, do you know Mr. Revenant?
Yes. Yeah, I asked him to come on, and I think we had scheduling issues. But yeah, no, he was totally down to come on. But I know him. Yeah.
Yeah, I sometimes share stories with him, and he said, "Oh, are you all right if I give this one to, you know, Unit?" And I was like, "What, are you for real? This dude's gonna read one of my stories." Oh, that's cool.
Nice.
You know, like, yeah, amazing. But yeah, Mr. Revenant, that's another guy. I should have shouted him out. He's awesome. I love that guy. I don't know where he's from. I think he's American. But he speaks to me in like a British English.
Yeah.
And I think he mentioned like he lived in England for a while. So yeah, he's a cool dude, but I don't know where the hell he's from.
Yeah, I'll have to reach out to. Yeah, I've been chatting him up and seeing what's going on. But yeah, I don't know where he's from. I'll have to see. Well, cool. What's your fan base like? What are your thoughts on them?
Yeah, I've got some really nice people who comment. I really, really, really am happy with people commenting on mine. I mean, 9 out of 10 amazing comments.
Right.
Actually 99.9 out of 10. or out of 100, you know.
Right.
I've had some horrible comments before, and I've had some like really racist comments before as well.
Oh, really?
I don't know, but some people seem to think that I'm Asian,
Oh.
or like I have some affiliation for Asian or whatever, and they just put some kind of slur of words. That's always a shame when you see
That's
that.
too bad, yeah.
But I mean, you know, not terrible, but like the fan base I've had, it's nothing that pleases me more like when somebody listens to your story and then they go like they ask a question or something. They say like, oh man, I would have done this. You know, OP did this, but you know, there's something they add to it, and you think, my God, I really engaged with this person. This person listened to the end of the story, and they even had this to say about it. I had their interest for that long. You know, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, they were listening, and they took the time to even comment, press like, and do all that. Love it.
Yeah.
You know, anything like that really makes my day. Just like, or even just like cool stories, you know.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. I forget sometimes how, you know, grateful I am for how many people who watch and comment.
Yeah.
You know, you must remember at the start when you made a channel as well, like you'd be just like, upload a video and you'd be like, oh, I've got 3 views.
Yeah.
And then you refresh, you know, when you constantly refresh when you do that first video.
It's probably changed. Yeah.
And you'd be like, oh, no, somebody's commented. And you're like, oh my God, what they said.
The view goes up by 1, but it's because you looked at it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
John Payne in the comments wants to know, question for J Nightmares, where do you go to find your true stories?
All right, John. Well, I don't want to give away too many industry secrets here.
Right.
But I go to anonymous boards, much like, you know, Reddit. You know, you what's the word for it? Like you submit stories to certain pages, like threads and stuff. So hang on. So there's 6 times 3, 4, 5. So I have 36 websites where people submit anonymous stories, and each of those websites have a stupid amount of stories. But the thing is, you got to be able. Well, I guess you got to have the patience to sit through it and try and find good stories out of it, because sometimes they might be rubbish, and then you got to have time to, you know, read it and then translate it. So I don't know. Where I find them is kind of everywhere, I guess, but it takes a hell of a long time. But John Payne, long story short, if you type in Japanese, I guess, or in English, just type in Kowai Hanashi, like KOWAIHANASHI, then you'll find what I find. But I don't know how, you know, easy it might be to find those. Yeah. So yeah, Japan loves submitting horror stories like anonymously, and they love just putting them out there on, you know, message boards and stuff. So it's just never ending.
Nice.
Cool.
A common question we often ask on here is pizza rolls or Hot Pockets?
Well, I haven't actually tried either.
Really?
To be honest with you. Yeah. So my question right back to you is, which one would you recommend me to try it first?
I think regardless, as long as you try both. Me personally, I've eaten too many Hot Pockets to where I'm sick of them now.
Right. So what are they? Because I have no idea. Pizza roll sounds amazing. I don't know what Hot Pockets are.
Yeah. Hot Pockets are basically, I mean, if we're looking at it technically, I mean, it's roughly the same thing. Like it's just a slightly bigger one. Yeah, like it's kind of hard to describe. I mean, it kind of just is what it is. Like a Hot Pocket, It's like a roll, like an elongated roll, a little bit more crusty than like a roll you would eat, but it's typically got some kind of meat in it or things like that. So yeah.
All right. Oh, my man, Crossnote from England in the chat there said a pasty. Yeah, I know what a pasty is. It sounds very similar to what you're explaining.
Yeah.
So, which one are you going for? You're going for hot pockets or pizza rolls?
Yeah, I like the pizza rolls.
Pizza rolls. I love pepperoni, so
Oh, do you?
that's involved, yeah.
Oh, nice. Well,
Get me some of that.
There you go.
I've always wanted to go to America, man. I really want to go out there.
Oh, have you not been here before?
No, I haven't. It's one of my goals in life. I want to see like Halloween over there and just like have one of, go like a pizzeria, because we don't do pizza the same as you guys. I want to go to a bar and have like a picture and stuff and see karaoke. Yeah, it just looks so much fun.
Yeah, no,
Go to a store, get all these kind of cool snacks and things that we see on the internet.
Okay. Yeah, no, for sure. Any part in particular that you would like to come visit?
To be honest, I don't know that well. I mean, a lot of people go to like New York, Miami, places like that, and from England, and I don't know. I guess New England for fall.
Yeah.
Like a Stephen King kind of country. And, autumn might be quite fun, but I don't know. I'd be quite satisfied with anywhere really. There's another channel I like called The Horror Show, and I think they operate in Middle America. I can't remember the exact state.
Okay.
Nevada, that's it. Is that the middle? No, that's south.
It's more west.
More west, right? I have no idea. But they seem to be having a great time down there.
Okay.
I don't know. Alaska could be fun as well, but see, you guys have got so much choice. I just named like 5-6 places down. I can't even pick one. That's how America's got to be an awesome place to go to if you have all that choice.
Yeah, there's a lot of variety here. John Payne says, go to the Midwest for pizza. Chicago or St. Louis for the Chicago-style pizza, yeah.
Ah, right, okay. Is that the one where they say the cheese is under the sauce?
Yeah. That's the Detroit pizza. But yeah, that's funny.
So if I went to America, where would you recommend? Say if I was like doing a tour guide kind of thing.
That's an interesting question because I actually I haven't been to most of the touristy places. I've just kind of more residential. I mean, you definitely want to go see the different sites. I've been to Vegas a couple of times. That's a lot of fun. That's kind of like a different thing. I can't really explain anything like that. Like it's kind of like it's like a constant part. It's like if a town were to have a party, like that's what Vegas is.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, no, for sure.
We always see in movies in the UK, like what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. That kind of stuff. And yeah, Vegas seems like it's always open.
Yeah.
Casinos, gambling, doesn't sleep. Yeah, I'd be frightened I'd lose all my money there.
Oh yeah. No, I'm too afraid of gambling. Yeah, I'm not a good gambler.
Yeah, I mean, I'd lose it.
Yeah, see now when I go to Vegas, I do the buffets. That's where I wreak havoc.
That's where you get your money back.
Yeah, exactly. I hit up the sushi bars.
Oh yeah, tuck in.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. My family makes fun of me. They say I look Asian. I'm not Asian. I don't think I look. But my family says I look Asian, and so they're like, oh, like they think you're like a long lost relative. Like that's why they feed you so much. I'm like, okay. Like, I just think that's really funny.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, I don't know why they say that. I'm like painfully American. Um, but yeah, so really quick, I saved this question for the last question just because I like to go down these kind of rabbit holes. So I'll kind of preface it. So I write a lot of my own stuff, and I like to entertain different ideas and things like that. So G Nightmare, non-politically, what is a conspiracy theory that you think to be true?
Oh, wow. What an awesome question that is. Wow. There's a couple out there, man. Honestly. We could go down a rabbit hole right now.
I'm game. Take me there. Take me down this rabbit hole.
Yeah. What is the one that I would lead into the most? Oh, God. Hmm. I would say. Right. Okay. So we have. I'll lead it. I'll lead into what I'm about to say, just with a bit of this at the start. So in the UK, we had a big cat law, which is like you had to people in the UK basically could own like a panther or a tiger or a lion up until the 1970s, and then there was a law that came out and they said, hey, what the hell are you doing? You're not allowed to own those big cats anymore. So we went, whoa, anybody who owns those cats are going to have a big fine. You know, you're going to get a fine. You're going to get like, you know, you have to pay like crazy amount of money. So in order to avoid people, you know, these people having a fine, they literally just release these huge cats, these terrifyingly, you know, dangerous animals into the wild in England.
Really?
Now, I believe that, you know, there's many legends and stuff like that, and, you know, especially when I was growing up, that these cats came out, and there was one called the Beast of Bodmin. Oh my God, Cross Note in the chat has just said it. My man. Yeah, these cats came out. They just released these cats, and they're out there in the wild. And every now and then you can hear new little rumors about sheep getting killed or whatever. Like, you know, American Werewolf in London kind of stuff.
Yeah.
They're out there. So I think that sometimes these big frightening animals are out there. And that leads me on to another thing. I am quite heavily invested in the Yeti thing. I think.
Oh, nice.
I really want to believe that there's a Yeti out there. I really want to believe that there's a Sasquatch out there, you know? I love the idea of there being a cryptid or something just we haven't kept our eyes on out there. Also, maybe like something deep in the sea, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, that sending chills up my spine, you know?
Yeah.
Something unknown that shouldn't be there, that is still there. That kind of stuff freaks me out.
Yeah, no, I definitely hear you. Yeah, no, I love that kind of stuff. I think, I definitely think that there's a lot of different things out there. My favorite one that I've heard is that that there are aliens and that they are working with the different governments across the world, and that they're doing experiments on humans and like cloning them, and that's how we're getting those different cryptids like the rake, like skinwalkers and things like that. Like that's kind of like one of the premises of one of the series I have out is that we're using alien technology to modify skinwalkers.
Whoa.
And so aliens are trying to take over the planet, and we're slowly releasing these different skinwalkers across like different state parks and things like that to diminish the population in a way that that isn't going to be like terribly noticeable. So it's like an alien invasion, but it's very subtle.
Oh man. Yeah, I like that. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's a great kind of basis to base some stories on, by the way.
Oh yeah. I love that kind of stuff. That stuff's
you can really dig into that and go in all sorts of different directions.
Yeah. Yeah, John says the megalodon and the the deep trenches in the Pacific.
Yeah, that's frightening down there.
Have you ever been on like a commercial cruise or anything like that?
I haven't. But I did go. I did go to a deep kind of part off of Okinawa in Japan.
Oh wow.
Yeah, just to see like darkness below your feet is quite frightening.
Yeah.
You know, you could just slip into that darkness so easily. It'd be send shivers up your spine.
Yeah. So you mentioned like deep water horror, like deep water creatures and things like that. Do you think that there might be like cosmic entities out there?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up like reading like Lovecraft and stuff like that. So yeah, it's hard to imagine that since we haven't even gotten anywhere near to the bottom of the ocean, that we can guess what's down there. And each year we seem to be getting closer to finding like, oh, there's a bigger thing than we thought was down there. There's this mad squid with all, like really long tentacles down there. You know, I don't want to know what's down there. It really scares the hell out of me. I remember one incident when I was in a swimming pool in a hotel. Like there was something, the light was broke at the deep end of the swimming pool. So I swam there, and in my brain I thought that there was like some octopus or something down there about to get me. And I don't know why, but just like there's something really frightening to me about deep water and not knowing what's down there.
Huh.
Is that what they call thalassophobia or something?
I think so. Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah. I think it's interesting that we all kind of share that fear.
Yeah, it's kind of like innate, like the primal fear that we share as humans. Like, you know, fear of fire, fear of like all sorts of stuff. There's certain things we've grown up with, like animals. Just stay away from that. And I think, like you were saying before, like the cryptids and skinwalkers and stuff. Maybe there's that. Maybe we just share that fear as humans. Like, oh, something don't feel right here. What is it? I don't know what it is. Let's get out of here. You know. Maybe there's a reason we feel like that sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I hear you. Yeah. No. Well. Yeah. It's just interesting to me why. Like I had someone on a couple days ago, and we were talking about aliens and things like that. Do you think that? What are your thoughts on like aliens?
Aliens, man. Oh, that's the one thing I think that I'll always be frightened of. Have you ever seen the film The Fourth Kind?
Yes, I have.
That scared the hell out of me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know why. I think it was the owl faces, like the owls.
Yeah.
And the white faces, and then not having the memory, to what happened to you last night kind of thing. That just, scared me. I think aliens are out there. I honestly do. Crop circles, the film Signs. Do you ever see that with Mel Gibson?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one creeped me out massively.
Do you think they're responsible for crop circles, or do you think that's something people are just doing to add to it?
Yeah, that's a tough one, actually, because the first one must have come from somewhere. And I don't mind where it came from, but then there was all sorts of other ones, and then it kind of dropped off a bit, and then there was more ones. I don't know. I really don't know. I think it could be somebody messing around, but I don't know where the first one came from. Who had the idea to do it first?
That's a good point. I think for me, what freaks me out a little bit is there's like different types of cattle mutilization. That it's like surgically cut. Like there's different cuts that are like it's as if it was done with like a laser. That kind of stuff interests me. Me
too, man. I did a dip into true crime on my channel, and it was about this guy who just like disappeared in Japan, and they found his body, and it was literally like you say, like laser cut, like square inches by square inches, and like they said like we don't. They should not have been the technology to do that unless they were in a hospital and there was no blood. So it's like some stuff like that really terrifies me. You know, like what could be out there that could do that to a human being and leave no evidence?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Creepy as hell, man.
Yeah, when you mention like people out there, like are the scariest things, like, and especially like just with how technology is getting nowadays, it is quite terrifying to think like the capabilities that people have with that kind of stuff.
Yeah. What are we gonna find out? You know, this time next year, what are we gonna find out?
Yeah, my worry is like that we have like a cloning colony or something where we're cloning all these different people and we're like harvesting their organs. It's like the movie. Have you seen the movie The Island?
I haven't seen that yet.
Okay, I mean that's essentially the premise of that movie, is that they're cloning people, like people's lookalikes, and that
doppelgangers.
Yeah, and they're able to like harvest their organs if they ever need them or anything like that.
Wow.
And,
Well, that sounds it.
Yeah, but yeah. Anyways, well, shoot, dude. We've been on here almost an hour and a half. It's felt like maybe 10 or 20 minutes for me. I don't know about you.
Time flies, yeah. Same here.
Well, cool. I probably should let you go. Before I let you go, is there anything that we should look forward to on your channel, like any projects or anything like that?
I'm going away for a little bit.
I'm
going over to Japan, so you might get a couple of compilations. But when I'm back, hopefully, I'll be doing some new stuff. I mean, the one thing I could potentially look forward to is seeing your name on my channel again. So I'd love to have you back on.
For sure. You just let me know. I'll send whatever you need over.
That's beautiful, man. But yeah, a couple of compilation videos, and I've got some weird glitch in the Matrix ones that are really weird. Yeah.
Nice. Do you?
A couple of ghost stories coming up.
Is that something you believe in? Is the glitch in the Matrix?
Yeah, there's something about those stories. Like, there's one in this new one I'm doing that just really creeps me out a bit. Like, I'll do a quick little version of it. Like,
okay, this
person comes home from like going out drinking and all that with their friends, and then they get into bed, and then they hear a voice in the night and say, "Come on, get up, time to go." And then they, without thinking, they just get up and go. And then before they go, they fold up their like blanket, like duvet, whatever, and they put it in the corner of the room. And they're thinking as they do it, like, I've never done that before. Why am I doing that? And then that's the last thing they remember. The next day, the dad wakes up and is like, "Oh, you left late last night. What was that about?" I'm like, "Oh, I can't remember that." It's like, "Oh yeah, but I heard someone come in our house, go up to your room, say, 'Come on, let's go.' And then I heard 2 car doors shut, and then you left." And then this person has no memory of how what went on after this, someone came into their house and said, "Let's go." But the weird thing was when they came back home, like when they woke up in the morning, they had the blanket was like folded up in the corner, and they didn't know why that happened. And their dad was like, "Yeah, you left last night." They're like, "No, I didn't leave last night."
Huh.
Yeah, there's something about stuff like that just really is like, could that happen to me? And I just wouldn't be able to explain it.
Yeah, or we're like a part of like some simulation, like it can be manipulated.
I think
in a bizarre way.
Yeah, you got it. I think what I'm more frightened of is like missing time. That thing where you're like, you look at the watch and it's like, wow, I just lost an hour. What was I doing? I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Weird like that.
Huh. Yeah, bizarre. Well, we'll have to definitely check it out when it comes out on your channel. So you're going to be gone for about a month or so, and so you'll probably be back, around December time?
Yeah, I've tried to like schedule a few uploads, but I'll be over in Japan. I'll hopefully be able to do like a couple of live streams maybe, or
okay,
do something. Yeah.
Well, definitely let us know. That way we can all come check it out.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, of
Appreciate
course,
that.
of course. Yeah, stay in touch, man. I had a great time having you on. Thank you for having the time and effort to come on here and hanging out with us. I really appreciate it.
Thank you too, man. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, of course, of course. Well, hey, yeah, I'm gonna let you go, but a quick shout out for all those that are following. Definitely go check out J Nightmare. His YouTube channel, has a lot of great stuff on there. A lot of stuff you won't see on other channels, so I highly recommend subscribing to his channel.
Appreciate it, man. Looking forward to working with you soon too.
Absolutely. Well, hey, I'm gonna let you go. Have a great evening.
You too, buddy. Thanks a lot.
Care. All right, have a good one.
Cheers, mate. Bye bye.
All right, so that was the last live stream, and I couldn't think of a better way to end it up. We had J Nightmares with us. What an awesome guy. I really appreciate having him on, and yeah, that was just really awesome. Wow, yeah, I had a great time. Hopefully you guys really enjoyed all the different live streams. I wanted to bring things to you guys that everyone could enjoy, and just kind of showcase all this different talent that we have in the community. Guys, thank you so much for being a part of it. I hope you guys have a great holiday season, have a great Halloween, and have a great rest of the weekend. Take care, guys, and have a great evening.